It's a beautiful Wednesday at Bahoshy Field on the campus of Fordham University, and what better way to spend it than by calling some Fordham Softball. Lou Orlando, Nick Palmer, we bring you Fordham Softball on WFUV airwaves for the first time this season. Fordham returning home for just the second time this year. It'll be a Wednesday doubleheader against FDU. The sun is out, 60 degrees and sunny, weather's great, and more importantly, Fordham looking to return home and pick up a couple of wins after an always arduous non-conference portion of their schedule.
This is an exciting time for Fordham Rams baseball. They are starting a 6-game homestand here at Bahoshy Field. An A-10 play starts just this weekend against Rhode Island. This is an exciting time, and you're right, Lou. This team is looking to rebound after a couple of rough appearances, especially that last one against Clemson just a couple days ago, where they got safe to say is crushed 12-0. It's never fun on the back end of that, but really looking for some fun games here at home.
You have some bright spots in conference play. I think you think to that upset of number 14 Kentucky, but that's kind of always the way that non-conference portion of the schedule goes, especially with Melissa Inoue at the helm. They've challenged her girls to always play some of those tougher schools and take on some of those tougher matchups, and what that results in is always not the prettiest overall record, especially in non-conference play, but you said you've got conference play right on the horizon. URI comes here this weekend, and Fordham will get a little bit of a tune-up against an NEC opponent in FDU. Gone 7-8 so far. Fordham 7-13-1, and they'll have Devin Miller on the mound. Devin Miller entering her graduate student year, one of the greatest Fordham pitchers of all time. It had been a rough season for her last year. Safe to say, it looks like she's bounced back to form.
Oh, it's definitely been a tough time for her last year, but hey, she's bounced back, and that pressure playing against tough team makes diamonds, and I think that's what we're going to see. You know, you have definitely the hitting and the pitching on both ends need to have some work done to come to the right spot, and we're just getting ready for our first pitch here, Lou.
Leading off, the second baseman, Megan Berg, as Devin Miller rocks and sets for her first pitch. 1:03 p.m., first pitch in for a strike inside corner. FDU comes in a struggling offense, averaging just 1.8 runs per game, but they've got 7 wins, largely on their pitching staff, a young pitching staff. Second pitch fouled back off the netting. Quickly 0-2 for Devin Miller.
Really looking for Devin Miller to be attacking the zone here early, getting ahead in these counts, and putting pressure on them with the speed ball.
And Devin Miller, I think the epitome of a power pitcher, at times has struggled with her command, and you've seen it even this season. 30 walks, 7 hit by pitches, but when she's on the mark, really tough for those bats to catch up with it. 0-2 count for the right-handed Berg. Miller deals a little high. 1-2. Miller deals that one low and inside, count even at 2-2. For this Fordham pitching staff, certainly maybe the numbers skewed a little bit by non-conference play, but the ERA a little higher than you usually see it from a normally elite staff. Off the end of the bat to short, McGuire fires to first, one away.
And that's the kind of contact you want to be creating. You want to get soft contact on the ground that McGuire can easily pick up and toss on over to first.
Kate McGuire has had quite the start to her sophomore campaign, not just with the bat, but with the glove. That one off the end of the bat is Miller inducing some weak contact. It brings up the freshman left fielder, Aiden Stone, off to quite the start to her sophomore campaign. First pitch misses away.
FDU definitely wants to ride the hot hand here on Stone. She had a big walk-off home run on 3-2. Holy Cross won that game 1-0. So not only was it a big walk-off home run, it was their only run in the game.
Stone grounds it to third. Sarlo over to first for the second out. So quickly 2 away. That brings up the 3-hole hitter, Erica Barella. You look at this FDU lineup as I'll run through it quickly. You've already seen Berg and Stone, Barella in the 3-hole. Hayden Salter, the cleanup hitter. Flores, the catcher, at 5. Valdez, the designated hitter, at 6. Costa, Quesada, Cunningham rounding out the lineup. You'll notice no Abby Hoseman in the lineup. That's been their best hitter so far this season. You wonder if she'll get in the latter portion of this doubleheader. First pitch misses inside for Miller. Barella lofts it into the air, down the line, coming in, Nogue makes the catch. In fair territory, a quick 1-2-3 inning for Devin Miller.
Really great footwork there from Nogue. Just getting around the ball, making sure that she's coming down the line at the right angle. Easy catch.
Devin Miller goes 1-2-3 through the FDU lineup. When we come back, we'll have Fordham coming back for the first time today. No score through one half of play. You're listening to Fordham Softball on WFUV Sports. Back with you, Fordham Softball versus FDU. Fordham returning home for the second time this season, and we'll go look at today's Fordham lineup. It starts with Bailey Enoch, the right fielder, 2 and 3, Nogue and Sydney Wells, Ava Karatzis, the cleanup hitter, Michaela Carter hitting 5th, Devin Miller, the pitcher, will also hit 6th, and then rounding it out, Bella Ayala, Gianna Sarlo, and Kate McGuire. They'll be going up against the freshman Brooklyn Schroyer, and you want to talk about a freshman phenom. Well, that's what Brooklyn Schroyer is. A couple weeks ago, named the NEC Pitcher of the Week. Off to a terrific start to her freshman campaign, leads the NEC 1.65 ERA.
Yeah, just 11 Ks in her last game against Albany. Just tore through that lineup. Fordham's going to need to get head and counts here if they want to have a chance against her.
Well, they did so on the first one. Schroyer misses away, 1-0 count. Lofted to the first baseman, making the catch, Barella. So Bailey Enoch, 2 pitches, 1 out. And that will bring up Nalia Nogue, who had just such a terrific freshman campaign, named first team all-conference and named to the A-10 all-rookie team. Hit 500 in conference play. It's been a little bit of a slower start for her in this sophomore campaign, but a staple at the top of that Fordham lineup.
We just want to get her going here. She's best when she's getting on base.
Schroyer misses away with a close pitch.
Lifting that ball over the infielders' heads, that's what she does best.
Another thing that Inoue likes from her players, brings a lot of speed to the table. Fastball misses away from Schroyer again. Two-0 count. Trying for the outside quarter one more time and can't get it, so Nogue ahead in the count 3-0.
And really, when you're in a rough patch like this, she's hitting 186 on the season so far. You really just want to have any way to get going here. She shows bunt, and the call is a strike. You really just want to have any way to get going. A single up the middle, a walk, anything to get going will get going in the right direction.
Even with the batting average where it's at, on staying on base at a 229 clip, which is low for her, but she walks there on the inside fastball.
And there you go.
And that presents a whole world of trouble for FDU, having to deal with her speed on the base pass. And you bring up the catcher, Sydney Wells, who right now is having just a terrific start to her junior campaign. Already batted 6 home runs over the fence. OPS sitting well over 1 dot.
She's been the engine of this offense, slugging .678, getting the big timely hits when you need them, and making sure that they hurt.
Swings first pitch. Schroyer gets it by her. Runner on first, and no 1 count. Sydney Wells has found herself slotted into the lineup ever since she came over as a freshman a couple of years ago, and she's only gotten better with time. Misses away. Nogue's going for second base. Throw down, not in time. Just like that, Noge in scoring position with 1 out, and the count 1-1.
Noge with a little bit of a late jump there. Luckily, the throw was a little bit offline. Otherwise, it could have spelled trouble for her. But good of her to get on the right side of the base, make sure that she's tucked away safely, and nice bag steal for her.
And when you have the speed like that, you can almost get away with those delayed steals. Wells swinging a miss on the fastball away. So Noge on second, Wells at the plate. It's Karatzis on deck, another lefty bat. Fastball right by Wells, strike 3, and Schroyer gets a big second out. Brooklyn Schroyer, you talk about one of the aspects of her game that is already polished as a freshman. It's the ability to get the swing and miss. I think you mentioned the 11 strikeouts. You might think, well, that's a season high. Nope, she had 17 earlier in the year, so she has just burst onto the scene. And again, it's an FDU offense that has struggled, but they've gotten their wins largely on the back of this pitching staff that's mostly freshmen.
And not only does she have a deadly fastball, she likes to move east to west really well. She likes to jam you inside, make you uncomfortable in the box, and then go away and steal a strike just like she did right there on the outside corner.
She goes to the outside corner, evens the count at 1-1. Noge still at second with the sophomore Ava Karatzis at the plate. Second season for Karatzis. Started over 40 games last year as a freshman, slotting in at first base, and that was a big hole for Fordham last year after the loss of Rachel Hubertis, who had been one of the elite power bats in this program for more than a few years. Fastball by Karatzis, strike 3, and Schroyer works around trouble. 1 inning of play, no score. And you're listening to Fordham Softball on WFUV Sports. No score through 1 inning of play. Top of the second. Fordham versus FDU, the first of a Wednesday doubleheader on a beautiful Wednesday afternoon. The weather 60 degrees and sunny. Baseball season right around the corner. Well, we've got the college sports already up in action. Fordham men's basketball will go on the Barclays Center today for their second round A-10 matchup. But before you tune into that, you can catch some softball right here. Miller rocks and deals for the pitch, fouled off down the first base line by the cleanup hitter Hayden Salter. Hayden Salter, one of the veterans in this FDU lineup. Her third year as a starter roaming that outfield. 0-1 count for Miller. Gets a swing and a miss and a nasty pitch away.
Salter off to a little bit of a slow start herself, only hitting .205 so far this year.
And Salter, especially with her experience as someone they've relied on to trot out there every day, she started all of FDU's 15 games. You can make it 16 now. Fastball up and in, blows right by her. And Miller picks up her first strikeout of the night.
And that's when Miller's working effectively. She's getting the fastball up near the eyeballs, making it look enticing for the hitter, and then tucking it away inside to where if you do make contact with that, that's weak contact in on the hands, or you're just swinging and missing just like that.
Man, it's so tough to catch up to that up and in pitch. You really have to see it and get out in front of it, because even if you're, I guess you'd say, good timing with it, you're going to get jammed because of that location.
But it looks so good coming in because it's right at eye level and you see it so well.
Flores fouls it off down the third base line. Flores, the catcher for this FDU team. She's been a regular starter since she was a freshman. She takes the inside fastball, hit .378 as a freshman. This is really her first year taking over the catching duties, played some first base her first 2 seasons, and again, as the theme that's been with the FDU line, a bit of a quiet start for her. Hard ground ball to short. McGuire fields it, turns, throws to first. Karatzis for the second out.
We still haven't seen Devin Miller really make a mistake down the middle or be missing wildly. So, any of those mistakes are being completely avoided here, and she's pitching around batters, but making sure that, she's nibbling the corners on the strike zone, pitching very well.
Devin Miller, technically, her last time out came in that 12-0 loss against Clemson, but only got in at the very end of the game just to pick up the final out. Inherited 2 runners, led up a 3-run home run, so the stat line doesn't look great, but only 1 earned run charged to her. Missed away on the first pitch, tries for the outside corner again and misses.
But at least she's flexible and willing to perform any job for the team, even if that means coming in a blowout with runners on base and making sure you just get the last out no matter how that's done. So,
especially you look at the way that the softball pitching rotations work, a lot of times it's all hands on deck. Fordham right now has only used 4 pitchers, and even that might be a lot. You see some teams that really only operate with 3, 2 starters and a reliever, and then maybe a depth one, which is what Fordham has done so far. Last pitch fouled off, and this one fouled off down the third base line again off the netting. So 2-2 count to the designated hitter Zoe Valdez.
But that just doesn't show trust in all 4 pitchers. That shows trust in the hitters to get it done no matter who's showing up on the bump. So, that's good confidence in the fact that this offense can often get it done, even though they've come on some hard times recently.
2-2 for Valdez. Miller goes high and misses high. Full count. You talk about the prospect of this Fordham pitching staff. Obviously, pitching's always been a strength of Fordham, and you can go back and list off the aces, probably get into the double digits the last 5 years. As Miller blows right by her with the pitch. Strike 3 and Miller out of the inning. Through 1.5 innings of play. Still no runs as we head to the bottom of the second, and we will stay right here. We'll get another look at Brooklyn Schroyer. But Devin Miller, 2 strikeouts in the top of the second. Perfect through 2. And turn it over to the Fordham lineup. Be Carter, Miller, and Ayala coming to the plate. Well, we've got some time. Might as well break some news. Garrett Cole will be out 1 to 2 months to start the season for the New York Yankees. Just got the update on my phone. He's going to visit a surgeon per John Heyman, so obviously that's not something you like, Nick Palmer. I can see you wearing your Yankees hoodie right now, so I know that's something that's going to hurt us both this year.
It was inevitable, wasn't it?
It feels like it, doesn't
The
it?
vibes were too good. Suspiciously good.
Suspiciously good.
Suspiciously good.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
It's got to be ruined. Judge has to be hurt. Cole has to be hurt. The universe has to balance itself out.
Well, vibes might be bad with the Yankees, but so far vibes pretty good with the with Fordham Softball. Michaela Carter steps to the plate. Her 5th season here with the program. Shows bunt, sends it down the third base line. Fire across the diamond, just got her. Beat her by a step. The throw from Costa.
Costa, good job playing the bunt defense, recognizing it early, making sure she's creeping in. You don't want to cheat too hard and get the ball blown by you if she decides to blow it by the third base line, but good job getting there early and getting the transfer done to make the throw on to first.
Michaela Carter, not an easy person to get out on those bunt plays. Another one of these Fordham hitters that just has such speed and has perfected that bunt for a hit mentality. It brings up Devin Miller. Takes away. Devin Miller always been praised for her pitching, but has always been a serviceable hitter, and that I think proves true this season as well. In 30 at-bats, hitting .275, a .661 OPS. Takes inside. That one almost hit her. Miller brings an element of power to her game as well. Has already set one over the park. Over the wall, I should say. Fastball catches the corner for a strike. 2-1 count to Miller. Here's the 2-1. Misses up and away. Miller displaying a good eye. Schroer's 3-1 pitch. Right down the middle, strike 2. Wonder if the take sign was on there.
You would sure hope it was, because that's surely one she'd want back if the take sign was not on.
Full count pitch. Clips the inside corner. Strike 3.
I believe she knew it as well.
3 strikeouts already for Brooklyn Schroer. And 2 quick outs to start this bottom of the second.
Second baseman, number 21, Bella Ayala.
Bella Ayala steps up looking to try and keep this inning alive.
I want to see the Fordham Bats be aggressive here early in the game. This is the time to get out in front.
Ayala swinging first pitch and misses, and
that's the mentality.
well, Schroer just has, I'd call it a veteran fastball. Wise beyond her years with that arm. Ayala fouls it straight back off the netting. So quickly 0-2. Schroer already racking up the Ks through 2 and in prime position to do it again. Blows it right by Ayala. 2 Ks in the inning for Brooklyn Schroer. We're scoreless through 2. Third inning action when we come back. Fordham Softball on WFUV Sports. Top of the third here from Bahoshy Field. Lou Orlando, Nick Palmer bringing you WFUV's first Fordham Softball broadcast of the season. We are scoreless through 2, and it seems like we have an elite pitcher's duel in our hands. Obviously, Devin Miller has been an elite pitcher in this league for a few years, and the stud freshman Brooklyn Schroer dealing through 2. Coming up to the plate for FDU, Angela Costa takes a strike, 0-1. Miller rocks and deals. Ball hit well up over the netting in foul territory on the left side. And quickly ahead, 0-2. And for Miller, someone that's really struggled throughout her career with location, has not been an issue at all today, attacking the zone with precision.
No, absolutely not. I mean, one of her, as she, with a swinging strike on what I believe might have been some form of changeup up there in the zone. It didn't necessarily zip right by her, but that puts her down as we move on here, Lou.
3 strikeouts now for Devin Miller, trying to go toe-to-toe with Brooklyn Schroer. The 8-hitter Celeste Quezada swings first pitch, jammed up, foul of the third base side. Sarlo the easy catch, and Miller quickly 2 away.
Efficient here for Miller early on.
And that's something that I think you've seen develop in her game since she came up as a freshman, and obviously she has that fantastic 2021 season, one of the greatest Fordham pitching seasons we've ever seen. A 1.61 ERA, 155 Ks, but just the way that she's evolved as a pitcher with her time here, knowing that she doesn't always need to get the strikeout, can attack and try and force the weak contact. The bunt foul for an 0-1 count. Riley Cunningham, the 9-hole hitter, patrolling center field today. 0-1. Cunningham swings and misses under that pitch.
Cunningham will want to adjust here, shorten up her swing a little bit. A little loopy on that one.
Looks like she dropped the shoulder. I think me and you were thinking the same exact thing. 0-2 for Miller. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Took a little off it. 4 Ks from Miller through 3. We head to the bottom of the third. Still scoreless here from Bahoshy Field. And we will stay right here. Fordham Rams coming to bat. Miller has put FDU 9 up, 9 down. Fordham, it'll be 8-9-1 coming up. Sarlo, McGuire, Enoch. And you look at the way that this Fordham lineup is designed, I really think you like the turnaround of Kate McGuire to Bailey Enoch. Kate McGuire hitting .314 in the early season, has started every single game. And so to have that 9-1 turnaround, I know that's something that maybe less of a thing in baseball now, but I think when we were growing up as kids, you think what the Yankees did in the early 2010s with having Brett Gardner in the 9-hole, he was basically another leadoff hitter that you got that could lengthen the lineup down low, and that's something that it seems Fordham has done so far.
The value of the 9-hitter cannot be undervalued, no matter what team they are. They are a bridge to the top of the lineup. If you're putting a good hitter, if you're putting one of your best hitters at the top of the lineup, it only makes sense to have your 9-hitter be talented and be able to get on base, because they're going to be coming before that 1-hitter 3-4 times a game if you're lucky.
Gianna Sarlo, the BC transfer, steps up to the plate. Takes first pitch. Just misses the outside corner. For Gianna Sarlo in her graduate student year, spent 4 years at BC, limited starting time as she takes inside. Only got about 74 at-bats throughout her career at BC, but coming over here to Fordham and playing regularly at third base. Takes inside again.
She's hoping to see some improvement here. She's been off to a little bit of a slow start, batting about 200 here in their 21 games played.
3-0 pitch, taking all the way. That'll clip the corner for a strike.
She thought she had ball 4. She took a step or two towards first base and took a quick 180, and about face, we're back in the box.
3-1. Takes again, took another step towards first base, but quickly back in the box as it's called a strike. And for the viewers at home, I feel at least like the Fordham softball the softball umpires take a little bit longer to call the strike. So that pitch clips the corner. Strike 3. 5 Ks for Schroyer. My point was that maybe the step towards first base, a chance to try and influence the call, didn't work out there.
That's certainly possible, but I also think something that could attribute to it is just the generosity of the umpiring crew that, I mean, we've seen in the first few innings, getting a lot of calls on the inside corner, outside corner, high and low. So, you know, we'll see how that develops as the game goes along.
First pitch to McGuire, catches the corner for a strike. They talk about, in baseball, the evolution from the 90s to now about how the strike zone has been less east-west, more north-south. McGuire fouls it back. I think in softball, the strike zone's still very much east-west.
I think certainly as well, and I think that could have something to do with maybe the distance of the mound. You have less time to see the ball, so therefore you want to make up for that market correction. You don't want to be too overbearing on breaking balls.
McGuire takes the 0-2 pitch high. 3 straight Ks for Brooklyn Schroyer. She's up to 5 today. And she's not through one time through the order. 1-2 pitch. Outside. Got a flinch from the umpire, but he won't ring McGuire up. So the count even at 2-2. McGuire waits. The pitch right by her. Strike 3 swinging. 4 straight Ks for Brooklyn Schroyer. And she is absolutely dealing right now.
And McGuire can only give a shrug of the shoulders as she's heading back to the dugout there. Because what are you going to do? I think that was arguably your best fastball of the game. Just to elevate enough to make it look good, but fast enough to where Kate McGuire can't get back to that pitch.
9 Fordham batters have come to the plate. Only one has reached. That was Nalia Noge in the first with working a walk. Schroyer has been better with her command since. And you look at the last 7 batters that she's faced. 6 of them have gone down on strikes. Utter dominance right now.
And it starts with the command of the fastball. That's the basis from, when you learn to pitch. You start with the fastball, and once the fastball is good, then you develop breaking stuff. And she's relying heavily on the fastball here. It seems like she's throwing it 60-70% of the time, and with success.
The lineup flits over. Bailey Enoch takes high, 1-0 count. Makes contact, hard line drive, right field, off the base of the wall. Enoch will turn and go to second. She's in with a standing double. Fordham's had a hard time catching up to that fastball, but Enoch does and drives it deep to right field.
Excellent piece of contact hitting. She's not trying to do too much of the ball. She's not swinging too big out of her cleats. She's making sure that she's taking the knob to the ball, making sure that she's making that contact and driving it the other way off the wall, using her legs to stretch that into a double.
That brings up Noge, and a really good contact bat. Not always known as a run producer hitting at the top of that lineup, but a chance here with Enoch at second and 2 away. Still scoreless in the bottom of the third. First pitch misses high. Noge takes away 2-0. I'm curious to see how Schroyer attacks Noge this time around. She missed 4 straight times away to walk her that first at-bat. And now already behind 2-0.
And you have to be worried about contact here.
Jammed her inside. The ball falls just shy of the Fordham dugout along the third base line.
It's not like you can let her just try and sneak on base here. It's not like you have a force play at all. If she hits a ground ball, you have to be really, really careful. And she was too careful the first time around.
Schroyer's been at her best today when she attacks the hitter. The 2-1 jams her again. It bounces left of the third base line and rolls toward the dugout. That one had a chance of staying fair. Costa converging on it, along with Flores behind the plate. So count even 2-2. Enoch stands at second base, 2 away in the inning. The pitch jammed her again, fouls off the netting third base side. And so a much different approach went away, away, away that first at-bat. Now it's all been inside.
Well, you got to change it up because clearly the Fordham Rams are now seeing the ball better.
2-2, 2 outs. The pitch slapped again off the netting. As Noge took that little Ichiro-esque step down the line, you'll see a lot of the slap hitters, a lot of the lefties in that lineup do every once in a while. So count remains at 2-2. Noge has fouled the last 4 pitches off. Enoch leads off a second. The pitch away. Won't clip the corner. Full count.
Really good eye there. You know you always want to pull the trigger when it's 2-2 like that, especially with an umpire who's giving you that ball out, that strike outside. You want to pull the trigger really good to hold back.
The intimidating Sydney Wells on deck. Here's the pitch. Fouled off once more off the third base side netting. Again, an inside fastball. Noge doing everything in her power to keep this at-bat alive. She's really making Schroyer work for it here.
And if I'm Noge, I'm not trying to be too fancy. I want to take my best swing and try and drive her in.
Full count, 2 outs. Enoch on second. Here's the pitch. Slapped again off the netting. And Schroyer just has not been able to put Noge away in this at-bat. Noge, her smile coming clear through that mask she's wearing over her helmet.
And you can sense her getting a little impatient. This is the time where Noge needs to pull the throttle. Make her make a mistake. She wants to throw a strike.
Well, we'll do it again. Here's the pitch. Popped up third base side. Caught by Costa to the left of the pitching mound, and Schroyer
Great pitch.
able to escape the jam. A double by Bailey Enoch, but Schroyer retires Noge. Although it took 9 pitches, and we're scoreless through 3 innings. We head to the top of the 4th, a pitcher's duel here from Bahoshy Field. You're listening to Fordham Softball on WFUV Sports. Three innings of play, neither side able to push across a run. Doubleheader action here on a beautiful Wednesday afternoon. Fordham versus FDU. And for FDU, it's their top of the order. 9 up, 9 down the first 3 frames. Miller rocks and deals. Berg gets way under that one. And well foul. Noge gives the look. But it'll go off to stanchion in left field. Miller has been excellent so far. Only issue is Schroyer has been just as good. Berg shows bunk, pulls it back, and pops it over the netting. Miller lands right on top of us.
Miller looks composed out there. She doesn't look like she's rushed at all. She's taking her time between pitches, checking in with the outfield. She's pitching on her own time, but keeping the pace pretty quick and getting batters out, which I suppose is the most important thing, Lou.
I think that's one of the main tenets of pitching. 0-2, Miller deals well outside. As a general rule of thumb, I think if you're getting outs, more often than not, that translates to success.
I want to see how she bounces back after this pitch, though. This was the first one where you've thought, okay, she lost control here. Let's see how she returns after that outside fastball.
1-2 goes inside. Sarlo fires to first on that weak ground ball to third. And 1 away. To your point, I think that one had Berg held off there. I think that one would have missed well inside, but chased that pitch and got weak contact.
But that's good correction there. That's not trying to do the same pitch. A lot of time pitchers can get frustrated when they don't do a pitch correctly, and they'll try and do it again to make sure that they get it right. This was a good fastball inside purpose pitch.
Aiden Stone sends it to third base. Sarlo again, right to the chest to Karatzis, and a quick 2 outs. That'll bring up Erica Barella. FDU in danger again of going down 1-2-3 as they've yet to push across a base runner. Devin Miller's worked quickly, 33 pitches as we're almost near the end of the top of the 4th. Here's the pitch. Misses inside. Erica Barella comes in as a freshman and starting right away, not just starting, hitting in the 3-hole. That time, Miller able to find the inside corner. 1-1. We'll have a little bit of a timeout as Barella will talk things over with her first base coach.
See, if I'm Barella, I don't know what to do with that pitch. You know, that's a really great pitch inside. It's called for a strike. I don't know if I would agree with that, but the point is, if you go for that pitch, that's a ground ball down the third base line and an out. So,
and
really great pitch.
Those are the type of ground balls that Miller's been getting so far throughout this game. Sarlo's been very busy at the hot corner. I think, as much as you like the strikeouts, Miller has marked this game so far has been the weak contact. 1-1. Barella gets under it. This one trailing foul. One and two count for Miller, looking to retire. 1-2-3 in the order here in the top of the fourth. Still no score in the first game of our Wednesday doubleheader action. Rocks and deals. Ground ball right back up the middle. McGuire ranging to her left, picks it up, throws to first in time. Nice play by Katie McGuire at shortstop. And another 1-2-3 inning for Devin Miller.
Just great footwork there from McGuire, making sure she gets deep into the second base hole, making sure that she gives herself enough time to make the throw. Doesn't overreact with the throw, doesn't over-rotate, doesn't try to look too much like a hero, doesn't try to get the highlight reel, makes it look smooth on the transition. Excellent throw onto first base to get the final out of the inning.
I think that's the first time you really had to hold your breath when it's come to contact as to whether or not that's going to get through off the bat. That looks like, well, nice contact right up the middle. And here comes McGuire ranging to her left, not only making the smooth play to scoop it up, but firing across the diamond in time and on the run.
And if you want to call Miller a power pitcher, you can, but we've been seeing a lot of hits today, as you mentioned. You know, ground balls to the third base side, foul balls to the left side of the infield. You know, you're seeing a lot of people not necessarily being late on the fastball, but not making good contact. So I think we see a relaxed Miller right now. I think we see a Miller that's in control of the strike zone, and we see a Miller that's having fun on the mound.
Now curious to see whether or not Brooklyn Schroyer will stay relaxed. The end of that third inning got a little tense after the double by Enoch. Nogue battled. 10-pitch at bat to close out the third inning. Now here's Sydney Wells, the 3-hole hitter. Fordham has begun the dugout chance directed towards Brooklyn Schroyer. Her pitch misses low.
Calling out that they're in trouble, and if they were to be in trouble, I would bet Sydney Wells would be at the plate because she is an absolute monster, hitting 288 coming into this game. She has been the fire that has burned in the Fordham offense.
Schroyer takes a little off of it, and Wells right in front.
Doesn't really
Unfortunate timing for you there, bud. But you are correct. Sydney Wells, 6 home runs in 19 games. She had 8 in 44 last year, and that led the team. So Sydney Wells on a pretty good pace, I'd say, in the opening month of this season. She's ahead in the count 3-1. Schroyer deals. Wells takes away and called for the strike. Audible reaction from you there. Not sure you like the call.
I just don't know what I would do with that. We're seeing a lot of pitches in that same spot.
Goes to that same spot. Wells fouls it off. It goes up off the netting. Flores will catch it for good measure.
I think she thought she might have got it.
She deked me out for a little bit. I was pretty sure it went off
She
the
was
netting,
acting
and then
like
Flores really sold it. 3-2 count. Wells swings and misses.
Right down
Change
the
up
pipe.
again. And another strikeout for Brooklyn Schroyer. Wells strikes out for the second time today.
It's a big hack from Wells.
Sydney Wells
Big
trying to do damage, and you really can't blame her with the power numbers that she's seen so far this year. It brings up Ava Karatzis with 1 out. Line drive, third base side, few feet foul. Karatzis had a very solid freshman year. Again, maybe the numbers don't exactly pop off the page. 665 OPS, but saw everyday starting time at first base, and she's seen those numbers take a jump. OPS up 100 points this season. Fordham for a while had based a lot of their success off of their veteran core. They've now had to turn it over. It's more of a youth movement at the forefront. Karatzis pulls the hands in and lines it well foul.
And sure, Karatzis struggled last year, but she also, when she got a hold of one, it went a long way. So we want to see that high contact increase, that high leverage contact.
1-2 count. Kratzis swings and misses. The fast up high. Schroyer sets down another Fordham Ram on strikes. Back-to-back Ks. 8 strikeouts on the day. 2 away brings up Michaela Carter.
Michaela Carter.
First pitch, outside part of the plate for a strike. Goes outside that time, can't find the zone. And the count even 1-1. Michaela Carter, one of the few 50ers on this Fordham roster, as she cuts and misses for a strike. And now behind in the count 1-2.
And I mean, really, if you want to call Noge Batman last year, Carter was certainly Robin. She was, the support that Noge needed behind her. I really like the way that she handles the ball when she does make contact. However, the strikeout rate was a little bit high. We want to see her cut down on those, and we want to see her, get deep into counts and not necessarily falling behind and ending up with a K.
Well, last year when you looked at the lineup, it was Noge Carter at the top. Carter takes high to get the count even to 2-2. And now they've gone Enoch in the leadoff role. That was someone that was hitting more heart of the order last year, so they've jungled it up a little bit. But the table setters last year were Noge and Carter. Now it's Carter hitting 5th. 2-2. Takes away. It caught the outside corner. 3 strikeouts in the inning for Brooklyn Schroyer. She sets down the Rams 1-2-3. And we head to the 5th inning. Still no score here from Bahoshy Field. Fordham Softball on WFUV Sports. Scoreless ball, the first portion of our Wednesday doubleheader. Fordham and FDU. Devin Miller back in the circle for the top of the 5th. Showing bunt and pulling it back as Hayden Salter, a pitch misses up. Brooklyn Schroyer has been dealing on the FDU side, 9 Ks, but Devin Miller yet to allow a base runner. Salter shows bunt, pulls it back again as the pitch misses high.
I would say 2 very different styles of pitching, though, so far. Schroyer really attacking hitters, while Miller maybe being, I wouldn't say maybe reserved is the word, but certainly picking her spots and getting that weak contact.
The 2-0 pitch catches inside part of the zone for a strike. Devin Miller pitching this way has to excite you if you're a Fordham fan because you've seen what it's looked like at its peak. She deals here. It's fouled off the net right in front of us. You saw what last year looked at with the ERA really getting up there into the 5s. And that's easily the worst year of her career. But when you think about the peaks, you have a lot of faith in the talent of that arm, and to see her get back to a much more respectable number and dealing the way she is today. Got to be very exciting with conference play right around the corner. Miller a little peeved that she didn't get the call in the inside corner. The count is full.
She can't let this one get to her. She needs to come across with a really good competitive full count pitch here.
3-2 pitch to Salter. Rocks and deals. Strike three. Right by her. Devin Miller sets down another FDU night.
That was exactly the pitch right there. You don't want to show that you're showing too much emotion, but when you want to throw that fastball on the 3-2 count, you want to make sure that you blow it right past her, and that's exactly what Devin Miller just did.
It is 5 Ks for Devin Miller.
Crisp fastball. It was crisp.
Putting on a clinic. Both pitchers are. First pitch swinging as Flores pops it up and over the netting third base side. Here's the pitch, 0-1. Misses inside. One pitch. Miller deals. Popped up third base side over the netting once more, out of play. Flores behind in the count, 1-2. I think you kind of wonder when you look at FDU, especially on the hitting side, you wonder how they've won 7 games. You look at an NEC where it's 269 on base percentage, the batting average at 195, averaging less than 2 runs a game, and you go, how is a team like that winning ball games? And it's because of the fact that they're getting pitching like this from Brooklyn Schroyer.
They're getting that kind of pitching, but hey, I mean, I don't want to sugarcoat it. The Fordham hitting hasn't been much better than their hitting. So, you know, if you look at it, and if you look at Miller right now, I want to attack this lineup the same way I have been, going on that inside corner, and if she can get some contact down the left field line, you better believe that Nalia Nogue is going to be ready.
Full count. Catches the zone for a strike. Flores didn't think so, but Miller gets her second K of the inning.
Good thing the dugout and the first base line are the same way, eh?
She was able to play that one off, just kind of veered off towards the bench. Either way, she would have been headed that direction.
We saw it.
Hey, man, this is why we're in the booth, is to point these things out. That's, one would argue, that's the color commentator's job. First pitch strike for Miller. So Miller, more so in this inning than the ones prior, starting to lose the zone a little bit, but hasn't come back to hurt her yet. Quickly ahead 0-2 now on Zoe Valdez.
It'll be interesting to see what Miller does here. If she's feeling confident, she might go for a high fastball, but I wouldn't mind her picking the outside corner here as well.
0-2 pitch. Line drive, left field. Nogue ranging in, makes the catch. Nice contact by Valdez. But Nogue right there for the out. Another 1-2-3 inning for Devin Miller. And we go to the bottom of the 5th, and we'll see whether or not Fordham can get on the board. It's been zeros on both sides. Devin Miller dealing, Brooklyn Schroyer dealing, and Schroyer coming off her first 3K inning of the night. Of the day, I should say. It's only 2 o'clock. And 6, 7, 8 in the Fordham lineup coming to bat.
And that was one of the few mistakes I've seen Miller make today, where she didn't really pick a spot, whether she was going to go for the fastball high or maybe some breaking stuff away. She went for a fastball kind of low and away, but not tucked away enough to where that was actually some really solid contact that she got bailed out on.
You make a good point there. We've been talking about Miller's precision on the corner. She left that one right over the heart of the plate. And Valdez stays right with it, drives it to left center field. Fordham's got a lot of speed in that outfield, especially look at center and left. Nogue and Carter, I think you could make a case those are the 2 fastest players on the team. Makes sense why you put them in the outfield to begin with. And Nogue sprinting to her left to make the play.
And if I'm Valdez, I'm kicking myself there because she's only hitting about 206, only 5 hits on the year, 1 RBI. She really needs to get going, and when you make contact like that, it doesn't feel so great going into the dugout saying, hey, I made contact when the results haven't been there, but she has the right approach. She's just got to keep her head up and do the exact same thing when she comes up to the plate in an inning or two.
Valdez kicking herself. I think this FDU offense as a whole has to be kicking themselves. FDU 6-3 when Schroyer starts the game. And that's not a bad record by any stretch, but I think you could argue with the type of performances she's been having that record could be even higher. Devin Miller steps in, takes a fastball away. And now takes one in, ahead 2-0. Miller did the same thing her first at-bat, remember, I think got ahead to a 3-0 count, had to take signal on and ended up striking out looking. 2-0 from Schroyer. Leaves it over the heart of the plate. Miller slaps it. It tails foul.
Just
out of the
barely
park
late.
out of the park entirely, but Miller got some good metal on that.
She's hoping to do some damage herself, help herself get some run support. If none of the Rams can do it for her, maybe she can get the party started.
Well, it's been that type of day, so I wouldn't be surprised if Miller has to go out there and just do everything for herself. She fouls it back. Count even 2-2. 2-2 pitch. Miller jammed inside. Fouls it on the ground off the Fordham dugout.
Really nice pitch.
Two high fastball. Miller chases it, tomahawks it up in front of the third base dugout. What a snag by Angela Costa. Bangs into the railing but holds on for the play.
Costa had to deal with a lot there. She had to deal with the sun. She had to deal with the shadows of the lights. She had to deal with a lot. She goes over the fence, makes a nice little underhand catch. Really nice.
Devin Miller, aggressive in the circle and aggressive at the plate. That one, I think probably head high, and she just threw the bat head at it.
That's certainly not one you want to go for, and if she's going to be watching film later, she'll be shaking her head.
She might want that one back. Bella Ayala takes away. 1-0 count.
But that's why if you're going to go upstairs like that, you have to make it a fastball and blow it by him, because if it's... Oh, wow!
What a diving
catch there.
Diving snag by Flores. Ayala.
Just a foul tip. Just a foul tip. It was a full swing.
An athletic play by the catcher.
Cat-like reflexes from Flores there.
Andrea Flores lunging forward for the second out. 1-0 count. Tasarlo hits it high in the air. Ranging over at short. Quesada can't handle it. It drops. And Sarlo will reach. That will certainly be called an E6. That's one that got caught up way in the air. And I think shades of Luis Castillo there as maybe takes her eye off the ball. Either way, it drops to the ground and Sarlo reaches with 2 outs.
Well, luckily it's not in as precarious a situation as that unfortunate event was.
So Sarlo reaches with 2 outs. That brings up Kate McGuire. Takes inside. McGuire struck out her last at bat.
Looking to keep that average over 300 this year.
Fouls it off. Count evens 1-1. You got Sarlo on first, McGuire at the plate, top of the order on deck. See if McGuire can get on in any way. Fouls it back, 1-2.
And just to underscore the point that you made about McGuire earlier and having a really solid hitter in that 9-hole, she scored 11 runs this year. That's the second most on the team after Bailey Enoch, and that just shows that having someone who can get on base in that 9-hole for the top of the lineup is so valuable.
Getting on base at a .417 clip that leads the team. Takes inside. The count's even at 2-2. And so she's absolutely excelled at that 9-hole roll. 2-2 pitch. McGuire, a line drive right to short. Quesada makes the play this time with a head-high catch. And we're scoreless as we go to the top of the 6th. No runs pushed across on either side. An absolute pitching duel. Devin Miller in the circle when we come back. Fordham Softball on WFUV Sports. Five innings down from Bahoshy Field. Just one hit on either side. No runs. Fordham versus FDU, the first of a doubleheader here on Wednesday afternoon. At risk of losing some of our audience, I would like to mention that Fordham men's basketball playing their second round game against VCU. That game is about to get underway. And there would be no hard feelings if you turned off this game to go watch Fordham play their A10 second round game. Just throwing it out there. Would love it if you stayed. Maybe a little dual screen monitor, perhaps.
If you have the technology available.
Technology has come a long way, and so a lot of these things are now possible, and it's very cool.
If you made it to YouTube to listen to this game, I bet you could figure out a way to put on both games at once.
Taking is Costa right down the middle for a strike, count even 1-1. And you can always, you keep this on the computer, you throw the Fordham game on the TV. Fordham going against the number 5 seeded VCU after an overtime win yesterday. Check swing, they'll say Costa didn't go, the pitch missed high. So a 2-1 count. Here's the pitch. Costa bats it foul. 2-2 count.
I don't think I've seen late contact at all today from the Knights. Have you?
No, everything's been out in front for the, I'm trying to think, for the most part. Maybe a couple times where they sent it down the right field line, but feels like it's been Fordham that's had late contact more so than FDU. 2-2 pitch misses high. Devin Miller, pitch count in a terrific spot. You usually don't watch the pitch count as much as you would in baseball with the arm mechanics of softball, but at 52 pitches through 6 innings, she is dealing that one batted deep to left field. Nogue going back. That one's over the wall. Home run, Angela Costa. FDU gets on the board first, a 1-0 lead here in the top of the 6th, and doing so in a big way.
The Knights' third baseman is greeted by the rest of her team after an absolute bomb onto the tennis courts in left field at Bahoshy Field. Really, Nogue had no chance on that one.
Left field is the hardest place in this park to get it out. There's a little bit of a high wall, not quite Green Monster-esque, but definitely a higher yellow pole you have to get it over than anywhere else on the field. But she not only got it up, she got it deep and crushed that pitch off of Devin Miller.
And if anything, I would argue that that's a mistake from Miller than FDU changing their approach, because they had been getting under the ball a lot, and she certainly got under the ball there, Costa did. So, in that sense, FDU's not changing their approach. We just need Miller to bury that ball just a little bit more, and that'll end up being a fly out or a ground ball.
Costa coming into today 1 RBI, no home runs, but she gets, as of right now, the game-breaking home run. It puts FDU up by 1. It snaps Devin Miller's perfect game. She had not allowed a base runner through 5. She misses away with the fastball, and now, especially when you talk about someone in Devin Miller that struggled with control throughout the years, is that something that maybe steers her away from attacking hitters?
We're starting to see that right now as she doesn't get the call inside on the. So now we're at 2-0, and yeah, this is something that I'm worried about. After you give up a big home run like that, you want to get back to controlling the zone. You don't want to let it to affect you, and you don't want to end up trying to rear back and throw fastball after fastball and missing the zone.
Well, she'll catch the zone there to make it 2-1, and not to disparage this FDU offense, but it's a light-hitting FDU offense, and it's the bottom of the order. Those usually aren't the pitches. Those aren't the places in the order that you worry about attacking the zone. 7, 8, 9, that's usually where you tell Miller, hey, just get it in there, let's attack. And she did that. She leaves it over the heart of the plate, and Costa gets it. 2-2 count. Top of the 6th, no one away yet. Hard line drive back off the netting. We'll do the 2-2 again. Miller deals. Fouled off the netting again. Wells will catch it for good measure. But unlike Flores, she's not trying to sell it as an out, which I appreciate because sometimes that's mischievous and deceiving.
That is mischievous and deceiving, and that's not what softball's about. Softball's about integrity.
We're all about sportsmanship and fun. Foul ball off the right side. There's a first base side foul ball for you. A little late there. She gets jammed. FDU leads 1-0.
And I do want to note this is Finley Carringer here at the plate.
Thank you. Finley Carringer pinch hitting for Celeste Quezada. Miller misses high. Count is full. Quezada had that. Didn't end up being a costly error, but extended the inning as she dropped the pop fly from Gianna Sarlo. Now it's Carringer that's come in to hit for her. Miller tries for the outside corner and misses. And Carringer aboard, still no one out.
And that's what you want to see from a freshman utility player, getting on base, doing services to the team, not trying to do too much, and that'll go a long way as she goes on her career with the Knights.
For Carringer, that was just the second at-bat of her career. She's only appeared in 3 games so far, but she has scored a run. She brings some speed to the table. We'll watch her here. Doesn't go. The bunt to the third base side gets past Sarlo, but trails into foul territory. Nogue comes up from left field and scoops it up.
Dangerous play there, because if she does end up touching the ball in fair territory, that would be a fair ball. However,
I think they're saying that she did touch it, as right now Cunningham stands at first base. Inoue came out to talk with the umpire, and now they'll converge right to the left of the pitcher's circle.
This will be interesting. From what I saw, it does look like Sarlo touched the ball. We saw her creeping in from the bunt. She was showing bunt there, and Sarlo was creeping in on the third base line. The bunt ends up being successful, going down the third base line. I believe Sarlo got a touch on it, and then it went foul, which would mean that it would be a fair ball.
Fair ball, as they rule it, goes off the tip of Sarlo's glove. So Sarlo unable to properly field the bunt from the center fielder Riley Cunningham. Puts runners on first and second, still no one away. And Devin Miller, after allowing the perfect game-breaking home run, will now have to face the top of the order with 2 aboard and no one out.
It's the right idea from Sarlo. You wanna be able to make a play on that bunt attempt, and it just ended up that she didn't field it cleanly and ends up being with runners on first and second here in a dangerous spot.
Here's the leadoff hitter, Megan Berg, showing bunt. She bunts it up and off the netting behind Wells, the catcher. Good speed on the bases for FDU. Carringer at second, Cunningham, the center fielder, at first. Berg, 0-1 count, no one away in the inning. Shows bunt, pulls it back, swings, and fouls it off right side. Oh, 2 count. Miller looking for her first out here in the top of the 6th. Rocks and deals. Batted left field. Nogue won't have to move very far. Makes the catch. Runners won't advance. And Miller has her first out of the inning.
Just barely got under that one. That seemed like a pitch that you could make some solid contact with. Luckily, Nogue is there. 50-yard radius from Nogue.
Aiden Stone up to the plate. She's grounded out to third twice today. Sarlo playing up, corners up for this Fordham defense, so they love another ground ball to third. Try and turn a double play. Pitch from Miller, misses away. One-0 pitch. Miller trying for the inside corner and catches it. I think just barely. Gets the benefit of the call. In Stone, ground ball. Gets past diving McGuire. Runners will hold put. And the bases are loaded with 1 out.
It's a seeing eye ground ball from Stone there. Just picks a spot between Costa and McGuire, and now we're in business.
Well, it brings up the freshman Erica Barella. Bases loaded. The 3-hole hitter coming up. Fordham trails by 1. Only 1 out in the inning. Barella's 0 for 2 today. Infield is in. Miller deals. Misses inside. FDU did not get a base runner for the first 5 innings. They have gotten 3 hits and a walk in this inning alone. Miller shakes off. Now she'll pitch. Inside again. Won't get the strike. Bases loaded, 1 out. FDU up by 1. And Miller behind in the count, 2-0 to the 3-hole hitter. The pitch. Inside again and won't get the call. It's a 3-0 count, and Miller's going to have to come over the plate here.
If I'm Miller, I'm taking a deep breath here and just thinking, get it down the plate. Don't aim it. Just pitch the way you do and make sure that you're throwing it down the plate.
The 3-0 pitch. Goes inside and this time gets the strike. Brought it a little more central and catches the plate.
It's an excellent pitch. You can tell that she's not trying to locate. She's just trying to get it in there.
Well, she'll have to do it again. Bases loaded, 3-1 count. Misses inside and Barella will walk in a run. Devin Miller kept it on the inside part of the plate the entire at-bat. Only caught the zone once.
I don't hate that pitch either. I think, both teams have been getting that pitch kind of all day. And, if I'm Miller, I wouldn't be too happy about it. But I got to shake it off because now I've got a fresh count with bases loaded yet again.
Brings up Hayden Salter. She's struck out twice today. Wells will come out to the circle and have a little chat with Devin Miller. FDU leads 2-0. As long as this game doesn't go into extras, Fordham will only have 2 more chances to try and get back into this game and tack on a couple runs. They've been held scoreless by Brooklyn Schroyer so far today. Although FDU was held scoreless by Devin Miller through 5, now they've come through in the 6th. Hayden Salter looking to break this game open. FDU leads 2-0, bases are loaded. Miller attacks for a strike.
It's a great first pitch. If I'm Miller now, I'm going to be trying to work the edges of the plate to see if I can get a ground ball to the infield.
Salter struggled against Miller today. Swings and misses on the fastball. Miller got it by it. And ahead 0-2.
It'll be interesting what Miller tries to do here. You don't want to leave it up for a potential sac fly or a hit.
0-2 pitch, swung and a miss, strike 3. I think it was tipped into the glove of Wells. And they'll say foul tip. Salter went back to the box for a second, but Wells caught it the whole way through. So Salter will have to head back to the bench. 2 outs, and it brings up Andrea Flores.
Unfortunately, it doesn't matter if you tip it if the catcher catches it.
Flores 0 for 2, struck out looking her last at bat. Miller trying for the inside corner, couldn't get it. Salter has gone down swinging 3 times today. And this last one coming up in a big spot with bases loaded and 1 out. 1 out count for Flores. Takes right down the middle for a strike.
Now, if I'm Miller, I have 2 outs, so I don't have to worry about the sac fly now. So I can pitch up in the zone, and I can try and get that strikeout on a high heater like she's prone to do if she wants.
Opens up the plate a lot more for Miller with 2 outs. 1-1 pitch. High fastball fouled off the net. And you can tell that Miller senses that freedom with 2 outs. As you mentioned, she loves to attack up in the zone, and she went well up there. Flores chased. Bases loaded. FDU leads 2-0. 2 outs, 2 strikes. The pitch. High fastball line drive. Curves foul. A hard line drive at that.
Even though it was crushed, that's not a bad pitch from Miller there. If you do make contact with it, that has to be a foul ball, unless if you really go up and reach for it, which, I mean, no one swings like that, so I don't think you have to worry about her getting a hold of one in fair territory.
We'll do the 0-2 again. Here's the pitch. It skips up to Wells. Coming for home is Carringer. Flip home, not in time. Carringer scores on the wild pitch, and FDU takes a 3-0 lead.
And not a bad flip there from behind the plate, but you know, first of all, it just wasn't in time, and second of all, Miller didn't get a good grasp on it, so that will strike across another run. And now, when Fordham comes up, first they need to worry about these runners on second and third with 2 outs, but after that, they really need to get the bats going.
A 2-run lead was already going to be difficult against Brooklyn Schroyer. Now it's a 3-run lead for FDU and a chance to tack on. Flores at the plate, runners on second and third. 1-2 pitch for Miller. Inside, won't get the call. Counts even at 2.
And I don't want to fault Sydney Wells too hard there on that pass ball, because we really haven't seen a pitch like that from Devin today where it's really skipped in like that. So, you know, unexpected there for sure. You want to make sure and block that, but that'll be ball 4 there, and now we have the bases juiced yet again with 2 down.
So Miller puts another hitter aboard as she has really struggled throughout this 6th inning. The bases are loaded once more. Zoe Valdez, who had that hard line drive fly out to Nogue in the last inning. If she gets aboard, FDU will have hit around in this inning. Miller going for the outside corner and won't get it as it trails off.
It's unfortunate there. That's a great opening pitch to set the tone.
Miller trying to limit the damage. 3 runs have already come across to score. Valdez fouls it back. One. Going inside, missed too far inside.
If I'm Valdez, I'm not trying to take too big of a hit. I'm trying to get hard contact on the ground, make the Rams make a play, maybe try and scratch across another run.
2-1. Valdez, hard line drive to McGuire, flips to second, and Fordham finally able to get out of the inning. 9 hitters come to bat. 3 hits, 3 runs, and FDU leads by 3 with Fordham coming to bat. And needless to say, they've got their work cut out for them. Brooklyn Schroyer has pitched 5 scoreless innings. Fordham's only gotten 1 hit off of her. That was a double by Bailey Enoch. And if you're looking at things from a positive side, it's that you have Enoch, Noge, Wells coming to the plate here in the 6th. Feels like it's now or never time for the Rams.
Yeah, if you're the Rams, you just want to get something going against the Destroyer.
I'm sorry, I was writing stuff down.
You like
that was
that one?
a really good pun, man. Give me a fist pump. That was good, man.
But she has been destroying
I wonder if that's caught on yet at FDU.
It has to.
You know, she's
It's
only a freshman, so you don't know. They haven't had time to think of nicknames a ton yet, but
it would fit with how she's pitching.
It would fit, and she's made her mark so far this season. As I said earlier in the broadcast, the week of February 27th named co-pitcher of the week in the NEC and rookie of the week, 3 brilliant outings, including a 17K outing. That was a season high and a career high, which makes sense because she's only a freshman.
And it doesn't matter where she goes, whether she's at home or on the road. She is consistent, which has not been the case for the Rams this year, as the Rams have struggled on the road. They're 1-5 on the road, and in neutral games they're sitting at about 500. So we get the Rams' first look really at some home stretches here. So we'll see how the Rams fare at home. We've always sort of done well here, but we want to see that road record pick up as we move on.
Bailey Enoch, the only player in this Fordham lineup that's been able to do damage off a Schroyer so far. She steps in and takes a fastball in. Pencil just broke. One-0 pitch. Enoch caught the ball with her bat unintentionally. That was more Schroyer finding Enoch's bat. She gave a little flinch with the bat and then sighed and disgusted herself.
Certainly could have gone in on the hands there.
Enoch swinging a looper into left field. That'll drop Enoch's second hit of the ball game. And Fordham has a runner aboard with no one out.
And Enoch leads off this team for a reason. She gets on base. It doesn't matter how she does it. She's going to use those legs to leg out a looper or a ground ball or really anything she can get her bat on.
Enoch getting aboard at now a 350-plus clip. And 5 for 5 on stolen bases this season. You wonder how aggressive Fordham's going to be. You don't just need 1 run, you need 3, so you think maybe a little conservative. At the same time, maybe that 1 run is what gets you going.
If I'm Nalia Noge here, I need to get on base more than anything. We can see she's trying to get on base here, making sure that she sets up Sydney Wells for maybe a big launch into left field.
Well, tried for that slap hit, but hit it down behind the net. Or I should say behind the plate. So Enoch on first. Noge slaps it down the third base line, trying to beat it out. She can't. What a throw from Costa. Reared up and gunned it down the line and just beat Noge by half a step.
You can see Noge shaking her head there, thinking maybe if she had dug it out, maybe just a little bit better. I mean, really, the foot placement was really close, maybe half a second between the throw and the step. But anyway, that's an out. But we do have a runner on second now. Dangerous position here. If Wells can get a good hit, Rams can get on the board.
Wells has struck out swinging twice today, but a formidable power bat for Schroyer to face. She takes a strike outside. It's Enoch on second base in scoring position. Fordham, the third time that they've gotten a base runner over to scoring position, have yet to do anything with it. 0-1. Wells takes high. FDU leads 3-0. Wells, the 3-hitter at the plate. Hits it center field. Cunningham ranging back. She won't get there. Enoch will come around to score. Here's the relay. Well short. Wells is standing with a double. And that ball carried. I think Cunningham got fooled by that one. Started to range back slowly and then realized it was over ahead. But by that time, far too late.
I don't know if Cunningham thought Wells didn't get it as good as she did, but she certainly tagged that ball. Maybe she got lost in the sun, Cunningham, but really took a couple steps back, realized that the ball was ranging over to her right, and by that point, it was too late. The ball was already dropping. But really, really good point to stay on second there, because honestly, that ball should not have dropped. And hey, the Rams find a way to get on the board, and now they're in business with a runner on second and a run across the board.
Wells, a team-leading 6th double of the season, and more importantly, her RBI puts Fordham on the board. It breaks Schroyer's shutout, and it brings the tying run to the plate. Fordham will pinch run for Sydney Wells. She'll be able to stay in the game as a catcher, but Mallory McClellan will sub in for her on the base pass. So speed on the bases for Fordham with Ava Karatzis at the plate. Homered 4 times last year, yet to homer this season. Pitch from Schroyer. Line drive center field. Cunningham there for the catch, and McClellan won't tag. 2 away.
Not bad contact from McClellan, just didn't get enough power on it. And, only having about 5 at-bats last year, she wants to see that playing time go up. And, contact like that will help. She just wants to make sure that maybe she's getting some better wood on it.
Michaela Carter up with 2 outs. So Fordham will need some 2-out hitting here in the 6th. McClellan leads off of second. Carter swinging a miss on that first pitch. Carter shows bunt, pulls it back, fouls it off the netting. Schroyer quickly ahead. Oh, 2 outs. Fordham trails by 2. Staying alive is Carter as she lines it back. Schroyer the pitch. 0-2 count. Misses high. Carter's behind in the count. If she can get on, it'd be Devin Miller to hit. The 1-2. Jammed inside. Fouls it off the netting once again.
McClellan's running on contact, so really anything she can get her bat on would be beneficial. With 2 outs, you just want to try and get a base knock and drive her home.
Michaela Carter hitting 190 on the season. It's been a slow start for her. She clips it back to the net. Just doing her best to stay alive in this at-bat. The 1-2 will do it again. Fouls it off once more. I think reminiscent of that Nalia Nogue at bat we saw earlier in the game where she forced 10 pitches, ultimately retired. But Carter really making Schroyer work for this last out.
And this is one of the things that's so great about Schroyer is that she can make mistakes with location, but the dominance of her fastball just makes it difficult to hit no matter where it is.
This time she misses outside. Sounds like FDU didn't like the call. The coach is chirping at the umpire.
I think we know better.
I like to think from our point of view here behind the plate. I think it looked outside. 2-2 count. Swing and a miss. Schroyer gets it by Carter and escapes the jam. 1 run comes to score on the RBI double from Sydney Wells, but Fordham will enter the last inning trailing by 2. It's Fordham Softball on WFUV Sports. Final inning of play here from Game 1 of our Wednesday doubleheader, Fordham versus FDU. FDU will be one scoreless inning away from improving to 8-8 in the season. Fordham trying not to fall to 7-14-1. Miller will stay out there to complete her outing, trailing by 2. And now timeout called by Blue. It's Angela Costa, homered off of Miller last time out. Takes a strike to start the at-bat.
We'll see how Miller works around her this time, because it really wasn't a mistake pitch on that home run. Yeah, caught a little bit too much of the play, but I wouldn't classify it as, a meatball down the middle by any stretch of the imagination.
Tried to go off speed and completely lost a feel for this most recent pitch. Made a wincing face after as she missed high. The count's even at 1. Hard line drive down the line, but foul. Good contact by Costa.
And I think that's what she did so well on her home run, and how she's been able to stay on top of Miller is she's been turning on the fastball earlier than the rest of her teammates. That means harder contact to the left side, and that's how she ended up. Yes, she got under that fastball that ended up going onto the tennis courts, but she was early enough to where she could do some real damage with it.
1-2 from Miller. Strike 3. Got her to swing on a pitch in the dirt. Wells will fire to first to complete the out. And 1 away. Nice to see Miller retire Costa this time around. Had it been 5 perfect innings, and then the home run by Costa really felt like it derailed everything.
And that's a great correction there from Miller. I mean, you see in the home run, you give her a fastball that's kind of down the middle, kind of low and away. She says, okay, if you're able to hit that one, I'm going to give you a changeup in the dirt that's so hard and so low to hit, you won't be able to lift this ball even if you had a shovel, I guess.
Maybe a canoe oar?
A canoe oar, that's a good one.
That one you might be able to.
She said, this ball is going to be so low that I will have to dig a trench in order to throw it.
That's good. It's an 0-1 count to Celeste Quezada, back and hitting after getting pinch hit by Carringer. A lot more flexibility with how you can work subs and substitutions in softball, so Quezada will get another at bat. Oh-2 count. Miller deals. Strike 3. Got it by her. Fast stuff outside. Quezada never had a chance. Back-to-back Ks by Devin Miller. Up to 8 now on the day, and quickly 2 outs. Looking to keep this Fordham deficit at 2 going into our final half inning. The center fielder Riley Cunningham, I think we've got a pinch hitter. This is Jordan Hemingway. The freshman infielder will step to the plate. Takes inside for a ball. (1-0) and Miller misses inside again. Hemingway 0 for 3 to start her Division I career. This is the 4th game she's appeared in. (2-0) count. Miller catches the zone. I think you'll appreciate this given your hockey background and general affinity for hockey. Hemingway played field hockey in high school. Multi-sport athlete.
Do we know if she's continuing that? Because
she's not continuing it at the college level.
Okay. Who knows? We could have a multi-sport athlete.
Maybe you could have a word with her and convince her to do a little dual sport thing in college. The 3-1 count for Miller. Fouled off right side.
I mean, we could ask her after the game on Murphy Field behind us.
Yeah.
we have our lacrosse net set up. We
Yeah.
could get some field hockey sticks and
We can make that happen.
Ask
There's
for-
got to be field hockey sticks in Lombardi.
ask for a shooting gallery from her. Yeah.
Have you ever played field hockey? I imagine you've played a lot of field hockey in your day.
Physical education class for sure.
3-2 count. Ball is fouled off the netting.
But I got onto ice hockey pretty early, so
That's pretty sick.
why would you play on a field if you can play on ice?
Why would you run with a puck when you could glide on ice, right? It's something about running with a puck that doesn't feel the same way. I've tried it.
Clunky. Feels clunky.
3-2 count. Miller deals. Misses outside. Hemingway works a walk. And for the first time in her collegiate career, Jordan Hemingway has reached base.
Yeah, that pitch count's getting up there for Miller, and, you really don't want to let that one go. You could argue a lot of balls and strikes today, but that one you certainly could have argued was way up and outside. And now, you really don't want to let up on the pressure. After your team gets you a run and you're heading into the last frame, you really got to throw up a goose egg on the scoreboard here.
Well, it flips the lineup over, so Megan Berg, the leadoff hitter, 0 for 3 today, will have a chance to extend things. No one warming up for Fordham, so safe to say that Miller will have the leash to go the rest of the way. She catches the zone for a strike. Cunningham will pinch run for Hemingway, so she'll reach base. She won't get to run the bases. 0-1 count. Berg pops it up in play. Sarlo coming up in foul territory for the third out. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Fordham trailing 3-1. They'll need 2 runs to tie it. One last chance. And coming to the plate, Devin Miller, Bella Ayala, Gianna Sarlo will stay right here as Brooklyn Schroyer warms up to try and complete try and finish the complete game. It has been a magnificent performance for Schroyer so far. 6 innings. 3 hits, 1 run. That run coming in the last inning. So I guess if you're Fordham and you're trying to spin things positively, well, it's got to be that you got her a little bit in that 6th inning. It's starting to look a little more hittable. You've seen it a lot. If you're going to have any chance here in the 7th inning, you might attribute it to we've seen her stuff. We know what we're dealing with.
We've seen her stuff. We know what we're dealing with. But having said that, you can't rest on your laurels and want to see so many pitches. Like you said, you've seen her stuff. That means you need to be aggressive here. And you need to get, yes, a base runner on in order to tie this game. But more importantly, if you get good swings, the base hits will come. But you can't get passive here and let her get ahead in the count against you, because otherwise you will be toast.
Devin Miller will start things off. As of right now, in the circle, 7 innings pitched, 3 runs. Looking to do it at the plate. She's 0 for 2. Swinging first pitch, ground ball to third. Costa fumbles with it, fires to first, and not in time. They'll say off the bag was Barella. I think the throw might have beaten Miller. Didn't get down the line well.
Yeah, at first when he called her safe, I thought it was because he thought she beat the throw. I initially disagreed with that, but then he made the signal that, Arella was off first base, and hey, that's one way to get a base runner on, and now you can start thinking big about your swings.
Well, Fordham will opt for the pinch runner, and they won't have the pitcher run. This will be the freshman Michaela Swan. Curious if we see Michaela Swan's older sister Julia in the second game. She's a starter for FDU, but Swan will pinch run, brings the tying run to the plate. We haven't had to talk about errors a lot today. Ayala also swinging first pitch as she fouls it back. Only had 1 error through 6 innings. That was Quesada with the dropped pop-up at shortstop.
I would also maybe contend that Cunningham's missed fly ball out there. You could maybe, even though she didn't touch the ball, and you can't maybe call it an error, she certainly could have gotten there.
That's something that my dad's been on for a while, that it's a little bit of a stupid rule. You can't get an error because you misjudge a fly ball. 0-1 count to Ayala. Swing, loops it into right field. Coming in right field to make the play is Salter for the first out. Had Berg going back, Salter calls her off and makes the play. Here's the third baseman, Gianna Sarlo. Speaking of errors, she reached last time on that aforementioned Quezada error.
Strong game defensively for Sarlo as well.
Swan on first. The first pitch from Schroyer misses away. Schroyer's pitch count over 100 now in this at-bat. And catches the zone with a sharp fastball there. Even at 1. Fordham trails by 2, tying run at the plate. Sarlo swinging, cuts and misses on the high fastball. Behind in the count, 0-2.
Sarlo's got to shorten up her swing there if she wants to get this one past the infield. You can't end up with a soft ground ball for a double play. Oh, and she gets pinged there. She doesn't go around. Yes, she does. She gets directed back to first base. Seems like she went around on the swing.
I'm going to say foul ball. We're kind of awaiting the call here. Umpire is going out to talk with Melissa Inoue. And so they'll allow Sarlo to stay at the plate. I think they'll rule it a foul ball.
From what it seemed to me, it made contact with her forearm, but because she broke the plane, that will count as a swing and therefore a foul ball.
Any chance it hit the knob at all of the bat? I'll call it a 2-2 count. Sarlo swinging and well out in front of that one, bats it up and off the netting first base side. So they called it a ball, which means it's not a foul ball. They also didn't award her first base. So 2-2 count, runner on. Sarlo bats it foul again. This time had some juice on that swing, got a lot of it, but again out in front.
Sarlo's ready to pounce on that pitch up. She does not want to get beat with a high fastball here.
If Schroyer, do you consider going off speed here with how far out in front you have Sarlo right now? Here's the pitch, 2-2, line drive back up the middle, turns at 1, turns for second, they got the double play, and that will wrap this one up. Quezada takes it herself, steps on the bag, fires to first, and Fordham will fall 3-1 to FDU. They get the tying run to the plate, they can't do anything with it, and this game will come down to a big 6th inning for FDU. 3 runs come across, and that's the difference maker.
I mean, that's all it came down to. It was timely offense for FDU and just not enough of it for the Fordham Rams. You know, I thought Schroyer was remarkable on the mound. She powered through this offense as she has been doing all year. And now Fordham needs to regroup for a second game coming up here.
Well, Schroyer goes the complete game, 3 hits, 1 earned run, and 10 strikeouts. Devin Miller was good, perfect through 5. But that 6th inning is going to throw a little bit of a damper on that stat line. Goes the complete 7 innings, 3 hits, 3 earned runs, 4 walks, 9 Ks. So Devin Miller, a mostly good outing again. Just that 1 6th inning where it felt like after the Costa home run, everything fell apart for her mentally.
Everything fell apart there, and you know, you really need to rely on your top 4 in the order who didn't come through today. You need Enoch and Noge and Wells to be performing at their top offensive potential if you want to have a chance for your pitcher to keep you in the game. But I think we'll have Beeman here in the second game, so we'll see how they protect her coming up.
Fordham's got a deep rotation. We'll see if they can win the second game. It will likely be Beeman versus Julia Swan. That's the matchup that we're expecting, but Fordham falls in the first of our doubleheaders against FDU, 3-1. Bailey Enoch, 2 hits, Sydney Wells an RBI double. But the Fordham offense falls short against freshman phenom Brooklyn Schroyer. We will be back shortly for Game 2, but for Game 1, I'm Lou Orlando alongside Nick Palmer. Once again, Fordham falls to FDU 3-1. Don't go anywhere, because maybe not even in 30 minutes, we'll have Game 2 for you on these very same airwaves. And as always, Fordham Softball